A woman never truly realizes the value of a good man until he's gone. At first, she thinks time is endless. She believes his love, his patience, his loyalty will wait for her no matter how carelessly she treats it. But life has a way of proving her wrong. When a good man finally walks away, the silence he leaves behind is louder than any words, a silence that doesn't comfort but confronts. In that quiet, she begins to feel the weight of what she once dismissed. This isn't just about heartbreak, it's about self-respect. A man who knows his worth doesn't stay where he's undervalued. His silence speaks. I will not trade my dignity for your attention. And that realization hits harder than anger ever could. Brother, if you've ever felt invisible while giving everything, remember, your silence is power when it's built on respect for yourself. Start this journey now. Like and subscribe to Stoic Station. Drop a 1 if you choose dignity over chasing, or a 2 if part of you still wonders if silence is enough. What happens next will change how you handle love forever. 1. The shock of his departure. It always begins with quiet denial. She never believed he would truly leave. His love felt endless, his patience unbreakable. Yet when a good man finally walks away, reality hits like cold air. Every moment he forgave, every sacrifice she ignored, returns to haunt her. The silence he leaves isn't anger, it's the final boundary crossed, proof that even steady love has its limit. 2. Realizing what she took for granted. The little things she once ignored now echo louder than any fight. She believed kindness, loyalty and patience would never run out. He loved her through flaws, forgave mistakes and lifted her dreams, yet comfort blinded her to his quiet devotion. Only after he's gone does she see how rare that love was, and how easily she dismissed it. The weight of this truth shatters pride and plants the first seed of regret. 3. Losing more than a relationship. Losing a good man is not just the end of love, it's losing a piece of herself she once felt safe within. She thought the breakup was only about romance, but with him she felt worthy and understood. That version of her existed because he believed in her. Without him she feels exposed, stripped of shelter. This emptiness isn't heartbreak, it shakes identity itself. 4. The pain of new comparisons. She moves on, but every new man feels shallow beside what she once knew. She dates, hoping for comfort and excitement, yet every word feels thinner, every gesture forced. It's not that these men lack worth, it's that she now knows the weight of true devotion. She must face the truth. She didn't lose because he left. She lost by failing to love him deeply. 5. The crushing weight of silence. Silence is not peace, it's judgment without words. She expected anger, even confrontation, but instead met a void that speaks louder than any shout. His silence becomes a mirror, reflecting every choice that pushed him away. No message comes, no call to explain, no chance to fix. Regret grows heavier because silence shuts every door. She finally understands. This quiet isn't waiting. It's the undeniable end. 6. Seeing the invisible support. What once felt ordinary now feels irreplaceable. She never realized how much strength lived in the quiet ways he cared. The check-ins, the encouragement, the steady love that held her together when life felt uncertain. Those small acts, invisible in their consistency, were the glue that gave her world stability. Without them, her days feel hollow and shaky, stripped of the comfort she assumed would always be there. Only now does she see that the love she called ordinary was, in truth, rare and extraordinary. It was a gift she believed she deserved without question, until it vanished. The void it leaves is permanent, and silence cannot be undone, forcing her to face the true cost of taking devotion for granted. 7. Losing a rare foundation. A good man is more than a lover. He is an anchor in life's chaos. She once mistook his steady presence for something replaceable, believing safety would always be there no matter how she treated it. He protected quietly, listened without judgment, and built trust brick by brick. Only now, in his absence, does she see that true safety isn't easy to find. New relationships feel fragile, lacking the depth and sacrifice he gave so freely. What once felt secure was actually a rare fortress built by love, patience, and unwavering commitment. She hasn't just lost affection, she has lost the stability that allowed her to feel whole and fearless. That loss reshapes how she views love and security forever, making her realize too late that not every man is capable of being a foundation, and once it's gone, nothing feels the same. 8. The mirror turns inward. His love once acted like a mirror that showed her strength, worth, and potential, even when she doubted herself. He believed in her dreams, reminded her she was capable when life felt heavy, and held space for her insecurities without judgment. Now, without that steady reflection, self-doubt grows louder. She must face a version of herself she no longer admires, a woman who let someone extraordinary slip away. Guilt mixes with grief, heavier than anger or blame, because she knows she failed to give back the love and faith that were so freely offered. This quiet reckoning hurts more than loneliness itself. It forces her to see not only what she lost, but who she became in losing him, and that truth is often the sharpest pain of all. 9. Pride fades, regret stays. Pride feels powerful at first, almost intoxicating. She told herself she was fine, even free, convinced that walking away meant control and strength. In the early days, that freedom felt thrilling. She could rewrite her story, prove she didn't need him. But as nights grew quieter and distractions lost their shine, memories began to return uninvited. She remembered the calm strength he carried when life grew chaotic, the quiet sacrifices he made without asking for praise, the love that felt steady when everything else was uncertain. Suddenly, the reasons she left, the petty frustrations, the moments she felt restless, feel paper-thin compared to the depth she once had. Pride begins to crack under the weight of truth, and regret slips in like an unwelcome guest that refuses to leave. It doesn't scream, it whispers relentlessly, reminding her of what she dismissed and can't reclaim. This is when the illusion finally dies, when the thrill of independence turns hollow and reality sets in with unrelenting clarity. And once pride collapses into regret, there's no going back. Only the ache of knowing she let something rare slip away forever. 10. The harsh lesson of respect. Love without respect is a fire without oxygen. It may glow for a while, but it cannot last. Too many men don't realize this until it's too late. When rejection hits, they panic. They chase harder, shower her with attention, beg for another chance, hoping love can be won back with effort alone. In the moment, it feels like action, like fighting for something meaningful. But in truth, every plea chips away at the very thing that once made them desirable, self-respect. A woman may feel flattered by the pursuit, but deep inside, she stops admiring the man who sacrifices his dignity to keep her. And without admiration, love slowly erodes. A man who truly knows his worth takes a different path. He doesn't scream his value or demand her recognition. He doesn't collapse under the fear of losing her. Instead, he makes the hardest but most powerful choice, to walk away when love is no longer met with respect. He doesn't walk away to punish, to play games, or to spark jealousy. He walks away because he understands something essential. If respect dies, love is already on life support. That quiet decision speaks louder than any speech could. It says, I value myself with or without you. I refuse to remain where I am diminished. This is not arrogance. It's a man choosing his own worth over the illusion of connection. And it's a choice that often leaves a permanent mark on the woman who underestimated him. She may not understand it at first. She might call it pride, coldness, or ego. But over time she begins to see the truth. He didn't abandon her. He honored himself. True attraction is built not on how much a man can give or sacrifice, but on the respect he holds for himself. A man who stays grounded in his principles creates a different kind of presence, one that doesn't need validation to feel whole. Women are deeply drawn to that energy, even if they test it without realizing. It's why boundaries matter. It's why quiet strength unsettles those who are used to control. Silence becomes his greatest statement. He doesn't have to announce his worth. He doesn't have to prove that he's moving on. He doesn't need to send long messages explaining why he's hurt. He simply lives with integrity, focuses on his growth, and lets his absence speak. Over time, that silence does something no argument ever could. It makes her reflect. It forces her to sit with the reality of what she lost. While she's surrounded by noise, social media, new faces, shallow validation, his calm detachment stands out like a lighthouse in the fog. And slowly, almost painfully, she begins to understand. The man she once thought would always be there is no longer waiting. The man she tested is not begging to return. The man she rejected did not crumble. He built himself stronger. That realization stings more than anger, more than confrontation, because it cannot be undone. She can't manipulate silence. She can't negotiate with self-respect. This is why many women return, not because a man begged, but because he didn't. They return because his quiet dignity rewrites the story. It shows them something rare in a world full of desperate attention, a man who knows his value and refuses to trade it for temporary affection. By not chasing, by not pleading, by not performing for approval, he stands out. He becomes unforgettable, not for the pain he caused, but for the strength he carried. But here's the deeper truth for every man listening. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's not about silence as a trick or a strategy to manipulate her emotions. Stoicism teaches that power is rooted in inner discipline, not tactics. Walking away with dignity is about protecting your soul when love no longer honors it. It's about saying, I choose to live aligned with my values, even when it costs me comfort. This strength is not easy. It often comes with nights of doubt, moments of wanting to reach out, waves of loneliness that feel unbearable. Yet choosing respect over desperation builds something far greater than temporary reconciliation. It builds unshakable self-worth. And when you live from that place, love stops being a battlefield for validation. It becomes a choice between equals. For the woman who loses such a man, the lesson is harsh, but life-changing. At first, she may believe she has won. She may feel powerful, thinking his silence is weakness or pride. But as time passes, and she compares new faces, new conversations, new gestures, she realizes something rare slipped through her fingers. She remembers his calm presence, his unwavering loyalty, his strength that never needed to shout. And she sees what she couldn't before. Respect was the root of her attraction to him, and when it was broken, so was the love. When a man walks away with dignity, he leaves more than an empty space. He leaves a standard. He sets a quiet bar for what respect looks like, for what true strength feels like, for what love should be built on. And once a woman has experienced that, no amount of shallow validation or casual romance feels enough. She may not say it aloud, but she carries the knowledge with her. I lost a man who knew his worth. The beauty of this truth is that it empowers you as a man to live differently. You don't need to threaten leaving. You don't need to perform strength. You need to cultivate it. You need to know who you are, define what you will and won't accept, and hold to it even when emotions pull you elsewhere. That is the heart of Stoic strength, mastering yourself so you're not mastered by fleeting feelings or other people's approval. And if you're listening now, wrestling with rejection or feeling the urge to prove yourself, remember this: dignity is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. Walking away is not losing. It's choosing to protect your worth when love no longer does. It's the quiet power that keeps you whole. Respect always comes before desire. Without it, love eventually cracks under the weight of imbalance. But when you live with self-respect, you create a presence that cannot be ignored or forgotten. Women may be drawn to charm, passion, or attention for a season, but the man who lives by his values stays imprinted in their memory long after the noise fades. Brother, if there's one truth you must hold close, it's this: a man's worth is not proven by how much he chases when love begins to fade. It's proven by how he holds his ground when his dignity is tested. Too many men believe that persistence will win back affection. They pour out attention, words, and validation, thinking love can be rescued if they just try harder. But in doing so, they trade the very thing that makes them magnetic: self-respect. The journey we just walked through is a quiet map of what happens when a good man finally chooses himself. First comes her denial, then the slow unraveling, regret, reflection, and the painful understanding of what was lost. She sees the kindness she dismissed, the safety she assumed, the respect she unknowingly broke. And when your silence replaces your pursuit, she is forced to face the weight of her own choices. The deeper lesson for you is this: respect is the backbone of lasting love. Without it, attraction decays. Silence isn't weakness, it's discipline. Walking away with dignity is not punishment, it's self-preservation. A good man doesn't stay where he is undervalued, because love built on begging is not love that endures. If you want to thrive in relationships and life, build your inner fortress first. Know your values. Refuse to negotiate your self-worth for temporary affection. Lead with calm strength, not anger, not games. A woman may walk away, but if you stay true to yourself, you'll never lose the one thing that matters most: your own respect. Start this journey now. Like this video to remind more men to honor their worth. Subscribe to Stoic Station if you're ready to grow stronger in silence and action. This path is not easy, but it will make you unshakable.